My beloved brothers and sisters, do you know that the first 7 days of Ramadan can decide how the rest of your month and perhaps even your year will look? Subhanallah, we all enter Ramadan with excitement. We make promises. We say, this will be my best Ramadan. But the truth is, it is not the last 10 nights that build you first. It is the first 7 days that shape everything. If you begin strong, sincere and disciplined, Allah opens doors you never imagined. But if you begin distracted and casual, the entire month begins to slip away quietly. Some people leave Ramadan forgiven and transformed. Others leave almost the same. And the difference is decided in the first 7 days. My beloved brothers and sisters, the first 7 days of Ramadan are not just the beginning of a month. They are the beginning of a shift inside your heart. They create momentum. And momentum in Islam is powerful. When you start something for the sake of Allah with strength, sincerity and urgency, that strength carries you further than you ever expected. But when you start slowly, casually, telling yourself there is still time, you quietly weaken the rest of your journey. In these first 7 days, you are setting the spiritual temperature of your entire Ramadan. If you treat them lightly, the rest of the month follows that same pattern. If you treat them seriously, the rest of Ramadan rises to match that seriousness. This is how the soul works. It follows the tone you set early. Think about it carefully. On the first day, your heart is soft, your intentions are fresh, your motivation is high. You are thinking about change, you are thinking about forgiveness, you are thinking about becoming better. That is a gift from Allah, but the question is, what will you do with that gift? Many people waste the early days waiting for the real Ramadan to begin. They say, I will push harder in the second week. I will focus more in the last 10 nights. But transformation does not begin at the end, it begins at the start. If you cannot discipline yourself in the first 7 days when motivation is naturally strong, how will you suddenly become disciplined when tiredness increases? The first 7 days are where habits are formed. If you pray every salah on time from the very beginning, it becomes easier to maintain. If you open the Quran daily from day one, your heart begins to crave it. If you guard your tongue early, it becomes lighter and more controlled. But if you delay, procrastinate and excuse small weaknesses, those small weaknesses quietly grow. Momentum is not loud, it is subtle. It is built in small, consistent actions. Waking up for suhoor with intention, making dua before iftar with focus, lowering your gaze even when no one is watching, standing in tarawih even when your legs feel tired. These small actions repeated in the first 7 days build spiritual strength that carries you forward. My brothers and sisters, Ramadan does not transform people accidentally. It transforms those who enter it with purpose from the very first moment. When Allah sees you serious from day one, striving from day one, trying from day one, He places barakah in your time. He gives you energy when you should be tired. He opens your chest when you should feel heavy. He writes for you ease where you expected difficulty. But when you begin casually telling yourself there is still plenty of time, you are sending a message to your own soul that this month is ordinary and Ramadan is never ordinary. The first 7 days are your foundation. And the strength of your foundation determines how high you can rise. If you build it with sincerity, discipline and urgency, the rest of the month becomes an elevation. But if you build it weak, distracted and half-hearted, you will spend the rest of Ramadan trying to repair what you did not take seriously at the start. So ask yourself honestly, how are you treating these first 7 days? Are they just another week in your calendar, or are they the beginning of your transformation? Because what you do now is building momentum, and that momentum may quietly carry you toward forgiveness, closeness to Allah, and a destiny better than you imagined. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the biggest mistakes we make in Ramadan is relying on emotion instead of discipline. We wait to feel spiritual before we act spiritual. We wait to feel motivated before we open the Quran. We wait to feel emotional before we make dua. But the reality is, emotion is unstable. It rises and falls. Discipline is what carries you when emotion fades. The first 7 days of Ramadan are not about how inspired you feel. They are about how committed you are. In the beginning of Ramadan, the heart is naturally excited. The atmosphere is beautiful. The masjid feels different. Even your conversations feel lighter. But what happens when that initial excitement settles? What happens when your body feels tired? What happens when work becomes heavy? What happens when your sleep pattern is disturbed? That is when discipline either holds you up or your lack of it pulls you down. The Prophet ﷺ taught us a powerful principle that many people overlook. He said, the most beloved deeds to Allah are those that are consistent even if they are small. Look at that carefully. Not the biggest deeds, not the most emotional deeds, not the loudest deeds, but the consistent deeds. Consistency is born in the first 7 days. If you train yourself from day one to pray Fajr on time without excuse, it becomes your standard. If you train yourself to close your phone and open the Quran every single day without negotiation, it becomes your rhythm. If you discipline your tongue from gossip and useless speech from the beginning, your speech becomes guarded naturally. But if you say, I'll improve slowly, you are teaching your nafs that obedience is optional. Allah says in the Quran, "O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may attain taqwa." Notice the purpose, not hunger, not thirst, taqwa. And taqwa is discipline. It is the ability to control yourself even when no one is watching. Fasting itself is an act of discipline. You are able to eat, you are able to drink, you are able to respond in anger, but you hold back because Allah is watching. That self-control must not remain limited to food and drink. It must extend to your eyes, your ears, your tongue, your private habits, your thoughts. And this extension begins in the first 7 days. My brothers and sisters, if you do not discipline your gaze early, your eyes will wander again. If you do not discipline your temper early, anger will creep back in. If you do not discipline your time early, distraction will dominate your Ramadan. Emotion says, I feel close to Allah tonight. Discipline says, I will stand in prayer even when I feel nothing. Emotion says, I'm inspired after this reminder. Discipline says, I will continue tomorrow even without inspiration. The difference between those who leave Ramadan transformed and those who leave unchanged is not emotion. It is discipline that was built early and maintained steadily. And here is something powerful to understand. When Allah sees you disciplining yourself sincerely for His sake, He strengthens you. He makes obedience easier. He places sweetness in your worship. But that sweetness comes after commitment, not before it. The first 7 days are your training ground. They are where you prove to yourself that your relationship with Allah is not based on mood but on devotion. They are where you teach your soul that salah is non-negotiable, that Quran is daily, that sin is unacceptable, that dua is constant. If you build the structure now, the rest of Ramadan flows smoothly. But if you delay building it, you will spend the rest of the month struggling to catch up. So ask yourself honestly, are you chasing feelings or are you building discipline? Because destiny is not shaped by emotional moments. It is shaped by consistent obedience. And the first 7 days of Ramadan are where that obedience is either established or postponed. My beloved brothers and sisters, if there is one thing you must guard fiercely in the first 7 days of Ramadan, it is your heart, because the heart is the center of everything. If the heart is alive, your worship has meaning. If the heart is distracted, even your good deeds begin to feel empty. The first 7 days are when your heart is most sensitive. It has just entered a sacred season. The atmosphere is different. The rhythm of your day has changed. You are fasting. You are praying more. You are hearing reminders. Your heart is softer than it has been in months. But softness is not enough. Softness must be protected. Allah tells us clearly in the Quran, يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. The day when neither wealth nor children will benefit except the one who comes to Allah with a sound heart. Look at what will matter on the day of judgment. Not your status, not your followers, not your income. A sound heart, a clean heart. A heart free from arrogance, hatred, envy, hypocrisy, and attachment to sin. And Ramadan is the month designed to purify that heart. But purification does not happen automatically. You can fast all day and still damage your heart at night. You can stand in Taraweeh and still poison your heart with gossip afterward. You can recite Quran and still allow jealousy to sit inside you. The first 7 days are when you must make a decision. I will not allow my heart to be casually exposed to what harms it. Guard what you watch. Guard what you listen to. Guard who you speak about. Guard the private sins no one sees, because private sins quietly harden the heart even when the outside looks religious. The Prophet ﷺ said that in the body there is a piece of flesh. If it is sound, the whole body is sound, and if it is corrupt, the whole body is corrupt. Truly it is the heart. This is not a small matter. If your heart is clean, your fasting has light. If your heart is